Beryl is at 130 miles per hour in the Gulf of Mexico, undergoing its second rapid intensification tonight. A 10-foot storm surge is now in the forecast for South Texas and the Louisiana coastline by tomorrow. And a new round of supercells is erupting across eastern Colorado, Kansas, and Nebraska this afternoon. 3 severe weather stories are all moving simultaneously, and every single one of them is serious. This is shaping up to be one of the most active severe weather weeks of the entire summer. A Level 3 enhanced risk of severe weather is in place today for Wyoming, Colorado, and Nebraska. But the higher ceiling severe weather potential today actually sits over Oklahoma and Texas, not inside the enhanced. Rogue supercells in Oklahoma and Texas could fire this afternoon with all severe hazards on the table. A giant Level 1 marginal risk stretches from northern Minnesota all the way back down to Dallas. Texas! The primary threat today is damaging winds, but hail and tornadoes are very much in the mix. In the black outline zone today, 75 to 80 miles per hour winds are possible. That is hurricane force on land. Hail larger than 2 inches in diameter is in the forecast today inside that same black outline zone. Denver, Fort Collins, and Colorado Springs, protect your vehicles because baseball to teacup hail is coming. Tell me your city in the comments. We'll give you the most specific update for your area today. What makes today's setup interesting? The highest tornado ceiling is actually outside the enhanced risk zone. A conditional 2 to 5% tornado risk exists from the Red River Valley back into Amarillo today. The significant tornado parameter values today are running up to 5 in some spots near the Oklahoma Panhandle. A strong tornado, not just a brief spin-up, genuinely cannot be ruled out across the Oklahoma Panhandle today. The key condition needed is for supercells to stay discrete and not get absorbed into a line today. If any tornado does form near southern Oklahoma today, it will likely be rain-wrapped and difficult to see. A rain-wrapped tornado gives you no visual warning. Your only protection is having alerts active ahead of time. Isolated tornadoes are also possible in Colorado, Wyoming, and Nebraska with the upslope supercells this afternoon. A low-end tornado risk also exists along the East Coast from Virginia into North Carolina until 6 p.m. The Oklahoma Panhandle supercells near sunset today could be the most photogenic storms of the season. East Coast timing storms fire near Raleigh by 2 p.m. and peak near Virginia Beach by 6 p.m. Damaging winds become the main East Coast concern as storms cluster near Virginia Beach by late afternoon. Today's flash flood risk is 15%. In the yellow zone, storms moving over already saturated areas. The overnight hours tonight are where things get really serious across eastern Colorado and Kansas. A major MCS is expected to develop around midnight in eastern Colorado and move southeast through Kansas. By 2 a.m., this MCS will be producing damaging winds, wind-driven hail, and isolated tornadoes across Kansas. A supercell near Cheyenne tonight could stay discrete long enough to produce a tornado. This environment is ripe. Woodward and Weatherford, Oklahoma, all hazards are possible from this afternoon through after sunset tonight. An isolated cell between Oklahoma City and Tulsa overnight could also produce damaging winds and large hail. Virginia Beach, Norfolk, and Tidewater, damaging winds are your main threat from 2 to 6 p.m. today. Raleigh and Richmond, storms fire by 2 p.m., peak by 6 p.m., mostly clear by midnight tonight. The derecho risk in this pattern is real. A single line of thunderstorms can cover hundreds of miles. A derecho moving at 60 to 70 miles per hour produces winds people cannot outrun. Getting inside early is essential. Comment your city below if you're in Kansas or Oklahoma. We'll get you a specific detailed update. Now let's talk about Wednesday because it is essentially a carbon copy of what is happening today. Wednesday has a slight risk that could easily upgrade to an enhanced risk before the day is done. The same corridor from southeast Wyoming through eastern Colorado and western Kansas fires up again Wednesday. Hurricane force winds of 75 to 80 miles per hour are again possible Wednesday inside the same black outline zone. Significant hail greater than 2 inches in diameter will also be a major concern again on Wednesday. By Wednesday morning, a cluster of big thunderstorms is moving through Arkansas toward Mississippi and Louisiana. That cluster will work into a very moist environment and could produce big damaging wind gusts by afternoon. This is worth watching for a slight risk upgrade for parts of the Deep South on Wednesday afternoon. Milwaukee and northern Illinois Wednesday, a 2% tornado risk with rotating storms from 2 to 7 p.m. Denver and Cheyenne also face a 2% tornado risk Wednesday from the same ejecting Rockies system. Wednesday is MCS season in full force. Large lines of thunderstorms will be popping up everywhere. Wednesday, front range storms along Colorado and New Mexico erupt with four-corner state convection building too. Most storms today will not be severe, but the ones that are will pack a very serious punch. The high plains and central plains are now seeing severe weather for 3 consecutive days, not stopping. The plains have not caught a break this week, and Wednesday confirms this pattern is not quitting. Thursday continues the active pattern. A level 2 slight risk covers Wichita and Springfield once again. STP values Thursday reach 3 to 4 near southwest Missouri, north Oklahoma, and southeast Kansas. EF2 plus range. An STP of 3 to 4 on Thursday means an isolated EF2 plus tornado cannot be ruled out Thursday. Southwest Missouri and Springfield need to be on elevated alert for rotating storms Thursday into Thursday night. The Thursday morning storm remnants moving into Kansas will very likely trigger localized tornadoes through the afternoon. Then comes Friday, and this is the sneaky one that people are not paying enough attention to. The same storm system tracks from Thursday into the Ohio Valley on Friday with an elevated tornado risk. This is the exact same area that just went through a tornado outbreak earlier this week. No joke. The low-level jet on Friday comes out of the south and west that creates spin in the atmosphere. A couple of tornadoes, maybe even a couple of strong ones are possible in the Ohio Valley Friday. Now let's talk about the weekend, and this is where the pattern gets particularly interesting and favorable. By Friday evening, a low-pressure system is forecast to pop up right over the northern plains. Saturday, that low pressure sits over the Dakotas, creating an elevated tornado risk for North and South Dakota. The low-level jet Saturday cranks out of the southwest across both Dakotas, elevated tornado risk. Sunday and Monday are also favorable for severe weather all across the northern plains and Midwest. Here is what makes this weekend setup much more dangerous than recent events. The dew points are different. Recent outbreaks had dew points in the 50s. This weekend, the mid to upper 60s, dew points are coming. Mid to upper 60s dew points means significantly more moisture and energy available for rotating supercells. A 999 millibar low is showing up on the European model Sunday into Monday that is very favorable. Big thunderstorms are showing up on the European model Monday night into Tuesday as the pattern keeps delivering. The European model's confidence for severe weather this weekend is among the highest signals of the entire season. A big trough developing out west keeps ejecting energy across the Rockies and into the Central Plains. As that trough deepens and the eastern ridge spikes, the northwest flow severe weather avenue opens up fully. In the late June and early July, a big ridge spikes across the eastern U.S., bringing northwest flow events. This severe weather pattern has no clear off switch through the first week of July. Mark my words. Now let's shift to Beryl. The Gulf of Mexico situation right now is genuinely urgent for everyone there. Beryl's center has officially entered the Gulf of Mexico and is now undergoing its second rapid intensification. Second rapid intensification in the same storm is extremely uncommon, and the Gulf water is enabling it. Beryl's eye has sharpened on infrared satellite imagery, 130 miles per hour sustained winds with a very defined eye wall. Gulf of Mexico water is at record warm temperatures right now. Beryl's fuel tank is completely full. Beryl's rapid intensification in the Gulf is being driven by water temperatures that are genuinely off the charts. Low wind shear over the Gulf right now means there is essentially nothing to disrupt Beryl's intensification. Every major model is in agreement a major hurricane making a direct approach to the Texas-Louisiana coast. By tomorrow, the National Hurricane Center will be issuing a hurricane warning for South Texas to Louisiana. Storm surge of 10 feet or more is forecast for low-lying coastal areas from South Texas into Louisiana. 10 feet of storm surge means ocean water at chest height flooding through entire neighborhoods. Storm surge is the most deadly component of any hurricane, and 10 feet of surge is genuinely catastrophic. The outer rain bands from Beryl will start hitting South Texas and Louisiana coastlines tonight into Wednesday evening. Beryl's outer bands will bring heavy rainfall, 3 to 5 inches or more to coastal Texas starting tonight. If you are on the Gulf Coast right now, your window to prepare and evacuate is closing fast. Galveston, Corpus Christi, and New Orleans, if you have not started your preparation checklist, start it right now. The Beryl preparation checklist is simple: water, medications, documents, fuel, and your evacuation route confirmed. Leaving early before a hurricane is always better than getting stuck in evacuation traffic with a warning posted. No single possession is worth your life if an evacuation order comes. Please leave without hesitation. Tell me your Gulf Coast city in the comments. We'll track Beryl's surge specifically for your area. Now let's address the heat. The heat dome over the South is directly fueling all this severe weather. East Texas, the Mid-South, and Florida sit under heat index values of 110 to 115 degrees right now. Death Valley, California is approaching 120 degrees, among the hottest surface temperatures on the planet. Phoenix is near 110 degrees. The heat dome out west is not giving any ground whatsoever right now. This extreme heat in the south creates the massive pressure gradient that drives moisture northward into storm zones. That heat dome is what keeps the severe weather runway open and active through the weekend and beyond. Check on elderly neighbors and family in the heat zone. Heat illness can turn life-threatening within hours. Denver, Fort Collins, Colorado Springs, baseball to teacup hail threat today, and same system hits again Wednesday. Red River Valley and Amarillo, a conditional tornado threat runs through your area this afternoon and evening. Oklahoma Panhandle and Texas Panhandle, this is where the most significant tornado cannot be ruled out today. Cheyenne. Wyoming, a discrete supercell tonight, could stay organized long enough to produce a tornado. Milwaukee and northern Illinois Wednesday brings rotating storms and a tornado risk from 2 to 7 p.m. Madison and Janesville Wednesday, rotating storms tracking your way from Eau Claire and La Crosse by evening. Wichita and Springfield Thursday is your elevated threat day. STP values reaching 3 to 4 in your corridor. Ohio Valley Cities Friday brings a sneaky tornado threat to the same area hit earlier this week. Bismarck, Rapid City, and the Dakotas elevated tornado risk Saturday with that Dakota's low-pressure system. Galveston, Corpus Christi, and New Orleans complete your Beryl preparation checklist today, not tomorrow. Houston, your outer band's arrival window from Beryl is tonight into Wednesday evening. Watch closely. Tampa and Miami, Beryl's track could bring impacts to your area too. Follow every NHC advisory this week. Atlanta, Jacksonville, and Birmingham heat index 110 to 115 degrees with storm risk on top today and tomorrow. The NHC updates Beryl's advisory every 6 hours. Each one this week will carry critical new information. If your city isn't on this list, comment below and we'll get you a specific forecast update. Let's bring the full picture together. The next 7 days are genuinely one of summer's most loaded setups. Beryl at 130 miles per hour in the Gulf. A 10-foot storm surge targeting South Texas and Louisiana by tomorrow. Baseball to teacup hail in Denver and Colorado Springs today and again Wednesday from the same system. Thursday, EF2 plus tornado potential, southwest Missouri and north Oklahoma. Friday, the Ohio Valley sneaky threat. Saturday, Dakota's outbreak potential. Sunday to Monday, northern plains and Midwest. This pattern runs through July. Heat dome, 110 to 115 degrees across the south, and Death Valley touching 120, fueling the whole pattern. Make sure all your weather alerts are active for today's severe weather. Beryl's path and the weekend setup. An interior room on the lowest floor, away from windows, is your safest location during any tornado warning. Never drive through a flooded road, especially as Beryl's outer bands push heavy rain inland tonight. NOAA Weather Radio is your most reliable backup during severe weather when cell towers go down or overload. Power outages are likely wherever these MCS events hit hardest. Have a battery backup or generator ready. What part of this forecast affects you most? The Central Plains storms, Beryl, the heat, or the weekend? Are you in the storm zone? Prepping for Beryl from the Gulf, or dealing with 115-degree heat index? Honest to goodness, this week will rank among the most active severe weather weeks of the entire summer. 130 miles per hour Beryl in the Gulf. A 10-foot storm surge coming. Supercells erupting from Colorado to the Panhandles. We'll have a detailed forecast update tomorrow morning covering Beryl's Gulf track and Wednesday storms. Houston, you have a tight window right now to complete preparations before Beryl's outer bands arrive. Southeast Oklahoma could see several inches of rainfall in a short time tonight, flash flood watch area. The combination of severe weather, a Gulf hurricane, and extreme heat makes this week unlike almost any other. Good news, a solid shelter plan and active weather alerts address almost every one of these threats. We'll keep updates rolling all day. Every NHC advisory on Beryl and every SPC update will be covered. Stay with the forecast all week. We're tracking Beryl, the Plains outbreak, and the weekend setup. This entire week is what a fully loaded, fully fueled, and relentlessly active severe weather pattern looks like. The next 72 hours are a complex forecast. Beryl, Plains supercells, and the heat dome all at once. Being prepared before any severe weather event is what gives you options. Waiting gives you nothing. Stay weather aware, stay safe, and stay connected. This is genuinely one of the most active weeks we've covered. Share this forecast with anyone in the Central Plains, on the Gulf Coast, or across the Southeast today. We have never seen this many overlapping severe weather threats in 1 week. Stay plugged in all week. Stay safe out there. Tell us your city and we'll track this outbreak specifically for your area. This is what a loaded June forecast looks like. 130 miles per hour Beryl, supercells, heat dome, week of outbreaks.